walking down memory lane. It was in the academy. I was bedridden, feeling very much lonely, forlorn, and desolate. Madam and our principal CC nursed me back to health, and it is unforgettable. Sir, always my love and respect, sir. May your tribe increase, sir. Good luck and best wishes for your next innings.
Smiling, he has solution for all the issues, and he will never be under stress and any kind of tension in any eventuality. Ravi has been always in the forefront of solving the issues, and I found him very energetic and helping others.
The one word which comes to my mind is Mr. Dependable, person of absolute integrity. You as a dependent person for living in a flat without a lift.
At the outset, I must thank the organizers in general and Sri Palnivel Rajan in particular for giving me the opportunity to speak on this occasion. I deem it a privilege. My association with Sri Ravichandran dates back to 1989 when he and Mrs. Geeta came to Chennai on their first postings after probation. At that time, I was working in Chennai as an assistant director of income tax investigations. Nearly 3.5 decades have passed by since then. But this long duration has not dented our association a wee bit. On the contrary, the relation between us has grown stronger. What always impressed me most about Sri Ravichandran is the calm confidence with which he went about any task that came his way, and the singularity of purpose, resoluteness and dexterity with which he pursued the goals set before him. I had had the good fortune of working with him in a very sensitive assignment and of seeing him from very close quarters. The pressure of work would often make me lose my cool, but Sri Ravichandran would ever remain composed. I never found him getting perturbed or feeling flustered even in the worst of situations. Yet another remarkable trait of Sri Ravichandran is the quiet dignity with which he conducted himself in his dealings and interactions with colleagues. Possessed of an uncanny lack for spotting talent and a remarkable ability for grooming talent, his forte lay in creating an environment where talents could team up and deliver without much fuss or noise. He would let the work do the talking. The goal would have to be reached, and what better way could there be of ensuring the same than by molding the workforce through training and motivation? One seldom comes across such an effective trainer and devoted motivator. I would hazard the guess these things came to Sri Ravichandran very naturally. No wonder then Sri Ravichandran scripted success stories wherever he worked, both inside as well as outside the department. He left his mark wherever he went. I was therefore not at all surprised when, as the principal CCIT Chennai, he did certain novel things in the Chennai, Karaikudi and other offices. These marks would remain indelible. During the long 35 to 36 years in the IRS, Sri Ravichandran has had varied experiences and exposures. He wore several hats, and should I say, each hat adjusted itself to his size. With such an enviable CV under his belt, and with his sterling attributes of head and heart, I am sure retirement is not the right word for him. He has a long way to go, and I may say with confidence, there are many more laurels for him to lap up. From here on, whatever enterprise he embarks upon, I wish Sri Ravichandran Godspeed and greater glories. God always bless you, dear Ravi. Thank you, friends.
Mr. Ravichandran, is just not a valuable asset for the department, but endowed with inexhaustible reserve to provide an impetus to anything he embarks upon, whether it be department or tech-based data evaluation, especially in investigation or staff welfare measures. He was part of my team in SEBI, and the way he cracked the IPO scam in all its Byzantine and intricate layers is being talked about even today in the ecosystem of capital market. This is a great tribute to his professional acumen. So much can be said about his dynamism that a 2-minute capsule is parsimonious. I can only wish him a great future with many opportunities to harness his capabilities, which age cannot blunt or wither. All the best wishes for his health, happiness in his personal life.
Rajan called me this morning and asked me if I could make a small AV of about a minute to use for Ravi's function tomorrow. And that really set me thinking, how am I ever going to be able to say all that I want to about this guy in 1 minute? Ravi started off as a batchmate, and then he became a friend's husband who was also a batchmate. And now he is a dear friend by himself. I'm just one of the thousands of people whom he has touched in the most positive way. I remember the numerous occasions that I have reached out to him, sometimes in panic, sometimes with hope, asking for help. And he has never ever failed to respond. And he does it in the most wonderful manner, the most gracious manner possible. Never for a moment making you feel that this is a huge obligation that he has bestowed upon you. Never with the feeling that I'm expected to return this favor in some way or the other. And that is what is so amazing about the guy. I wish really that I could be like him in some way or the other. I wish I had his tremendous magnanimity and his generosity of spirit. I've seen that not just me, but so many people reach out to him for sometimes weird things, and he always does his best. And also sometimes I feel that these are people who really have not been very nice to him in the past, and yet he does it. And he does it saying that, but I'm just a messenger, and if I can do something to help, then why not? And he often reaches out himself. I've seen that when a batchmate of ours passed away suddenly, the amount of help that he rendered to the family, and he went out of his way, he reached out to them and himself thought of the various ways in which the family could need assistance, and he did every one of that. It was literally ticking off all the boxes. Amazing. I wish I had his ability to connect with people and different kinds of people. He is the absolute darling of not just my 88-year-old father, but also of my 18-year-old daughter. I don't know how he does that. I wish I had his intellect. I've seen him devour, new areas, and he's constantly looking to stimulate his mind. He can, discuss a new movie which has been released on Netflix with as much passion, and then move on to explain a very abstract concept in a completely unrelated field. I remember that during the pandemic, when I was also posted in Bangalore, he took it upon himself to explain the COVID, the virus as well as the vaccine. And he did it, in such a scientific way that I was simply amazed by the expanse of his knowledge. Of course, I wasn't a great student, but he was a great teacher. I also wish I had his zest for life, his energy, his desire to constantly learn new things. I remember that at one point of time, he was doing his PhD, he was doing law, he was also learning Kannada, and he was also doing something else. Like, I can't even keep track of what he was doing all that he was doing at one point of time. I don't know how he actually managed to do everything. I also know that he was learning salsa, that he learned some other dance form. His zest for life, I wish I had. And for all this, he is a fantastic officer. I mean, I don't think any of us should be fooled by his very genial manner and his very empathetic nature. I mean, try some nonsense with him, and I have seen him come down really hard. He knows his job, he is completely in command of what he has to do, and he does it with such elan. His joy for life is visible in every area of whether it's work or outside work. I of late have been, there's so many people who know him, and there have been, anytime you mention his name, there are always people who immediately launch off, because he has left an indelible mark on so many people, and usually they wax eloquent on him in the most genuine, absolutely heartfelt manner, and I haven't heard a single person who has a single negative thing to say about him. I would often call him and tell him, oh, I met this one and they were saying this. Finally, at the end of it, I really got tired and I said, look, I'm really tired of the number of people who want to just pour out all the wonderful things that they want to say about you. And now I'm going to dig up all your dark secrets and start sharing them around. He said, go ahead, try. But no, you can't find any. He's truly one of the warmest, sweetest, most amazing, genuine guys that you will find. I wish him all the very best. I'm sure he has a number of very exciting things lined up. He will have a lot of very exciting opportunities waiting for him. I wish him, Geeta, a dear friend, and you must hear the story of their romance, one of the most romantic pairings that we had in our batch, and again demonstrating Ravi's out-of-the-box thinking. I wish him, Geeta, their two bright, smart, loving, handsome sons, Vasuman and Aditya, a lovely life